She recently performed at Just for Laughs up in Montreal. And she's been featured on SiriusXM, Raw Dog Comedy Channel, and I'm thrilled to have her here for the very first time. Please give it up for Jess Solomon.
I try to do the right thing a lot. That's the kind of person I am. I really care about that. I should tell you, I've always been that way. When I was a kid, I once shoplifted a thesaurus. But then I felt so guilty, so remorseful, so repentant, so contrite, so shameful, so sorry I brought it back. I was also, before comedy, I worked as a war crimes lawyer for the United Nations. That's a real thing, yeah, until I decided it was time to get serious. And here we are, you guys. And one more thing about myself as I try to earn your trust before I surely lose it, is that I am Canadian, and it is important for me. Oh, thank you. That's very nice. I do feel like I need to tell people, because it's not something that's easy to tell. You guys don't know. You don't know if Canadians are walking amongst you. It's not an easy thing to know. And I sometimes don't know things. And if I had an accent, I feel like you guys would think it was cute that I didn't know Milwaukee was a real city, you know? Or that like I didn't understand how complex race relations are in America. You know, you'd just be like, oh, we don't know anything about your country either. You know, it'd be like, but it's not clear when you're from Canada. So I just like to tell people for that reason. I did move here. I moved here somewhat recently, and I moved here with my Muslim wife. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Obama let us in. That's how that happened. Yeah. And we've joined the resistance. You know, that's what we're up to, trying to do our part. You know, we've been hitting a lot of marches. It's where I get my cardio mostly, woo, for sure. I've been very proud of my signs. I know that's not like the point of the march or anything. I went to a gay march recently with my wife, and my sign said, "Jihad me at hello." So that was pretty cute. At one point, this Japanese news crew came over to interview my wife and I, and the reporter was like, "I just have to ask you, what do you think about Trump?" And I just yelled, "I love you, Japan," like I had fans over there. Do you know what I mean? I'm just like so swept up in what's happening. I'm so swept up in the moment. Like I'm not coping well. You know, I'm not dealing well. It hasn't gone well since I arrived in this country. You know what I mean? And obviously, I'm not coping well. You know, I'm a privileged white woman. Look at me. You know, like the only thing I've ever been denied is Hillary Clinton. You know, so it's been hard. And now I live in Brooklyn. Yeah, I'm a gentrifier. I'm a white woman. I read a lot of blogs about how to be less problematic. You know, that's what I do in my spare time. The other night, I didn't let a hipster white couple without keys into my building because I was like, everyone gets profiled or no one gets profiled. You know, it's like no exceptions, you know? So I'm trying to do what I can is what I'm saying. And last Christmas, my wife and I were here in New York, a Jew and a Muslim. We were alone. You know, we had some time on our hands. We were unsupervised. And I started scrolling through Facebook looking for something to do, and an event popped up organized by a woman I know, and it was a Kwanzaa bar crawl to support black-owned businesses. And I was like, perfect. Support black-owned businesses. I've read that on many blogs as a thing to do as an ally. I'm like, I got this. I snap up 2 tickets. I tell my wife. She's excited. You know, we're just like, this Jewish, Palestinian, lesbian, we're doing Kwanzaa, you know? We're excited about it. And I feel your hesitation, and it's well-founded. I just want to let you know. Because we did show up at the starting point, which was the Harlem, it was the Harriet Tubman Public High School in Harlem, of course. Maybe some of you know it. And we walked in, and we were the only white people. It was a lot of people. And I should say I was the only white person. My wife is a woman of color, which sounds like the wrong term, but it is the currently accepted term, and I just want you guys to know I'm ready to switch it at a moment's notice. Let me know what the new one is. I want to use it. I'm on top of it. Let's do it, you know? Yes. So I look around the room to see if there's any other white people, which is something I haven't had to do in my life because I don't know if you've lived as a white woman until 2018, but I thought every space was for me. What? No, just kidding, obviously. No. So, and I just wanted to see if there was like any other idiot who'd done the like in real life version of sharing an article I'd only read the headline of. You know what I mean? Should have gone to the website. The website was very clear. It under what to wear, it said, wear whatever makes you feel unapologetically black and beautiful. Yeah, I wish I had read that. Anyway, I mean, I knew enough to show up like this. I wasn't like in a dashiki or anything. I just want you guys... My wife wanted to wear a headscarf, not even like any African material, just a scarf on her head. And I was like, no, baseball hats, like that's... We are, and I was like, I think, anyway. So I'm like, at this point, I'm just like, why don't we just like quietly slip out? But this man gets on stage to explain Kwanzaa, and I was like, well, we might as well learn about the holiday. So we sit down in the auditorium, and he starts explaining Kwanzaa, and he's like, it's an African-American holiday rooted in the Black nationalist movement of the 1960s. And then I don't know if he sees me, but he says, but everyone is welcome. You know what I mean? I just felt like a spotlight shine down on me. I was like, all right, cool. I guess we're in for one bar on the crawl. That seems like a compromise. I don't know. I don't want people to feel like I don't feel welcome. So, okay, we'll do, And then he goes on to explain that Kwanzaa lasts 7 days, and every day it celebrates a different principle, like unity, self-determination, creativity. And every day is marked by the lighting of a candle that goes in a candelabra, and the candelabra looks just like a menorah. It's a menorah. They call it a kenora. I'm not even making that up. And the first Kwanzaa, they didn't have the kenora set up, so they took a menorah and they just broke off 2 branches. And I was like, a little piece of me was like, maybe it's good I'm here. Now I can report back to the Jews about what I've learned. You know what I mean? I was like, why did I think that? Oh, God. So we leave. So we leave, the auditorium and to go meet up with our group. And as we're like exiting the school, there's like some local media and event photographers, and I'm just doing everything I can not to get in a photograph. You know what I mean? Like I just know I can't like be in a photo. I just know I could so easily become a meme on the internet. You know what I mean? They're so popular. Just like white lady gets bored of Coachella, decides to own Kwanzaa. Like I can't have that. That's not how I want to be famous at all. I want to do it like small storytelling shows. And so we follow our group, and we go to the first bar. And as we get to the bar, I notice a mezuzah on the outside of the business. Yeah, I know, except for that I'm like, I'm not here to support the Jews. Like, we already control the weather or whatever. Like, it's fine, you know what I mean? So we go into the place, and we get there, and everybody's sort of introducing themselves, and I realize that it's like kind of a singles event, which makes sense. It's a bar crawl, of course, So everyone's like a young single professional, and I think it's going to make things better if I explain that I'm not there to pick anybody up, So I'm just like, hi, I'm Jess, I'm a lesbian, this is my wife, she's a lesbian. We're this like lesbian married couple. I don't know why, I'm just like, the more I'm like, we're this lesbian married couple, the more it seems like we're there to find a sperm donor. I'm just like... not helping at all. So we get up and we go to the bar, and we pull out the menu. Like, my wife looks at the menu, and the menu is like all like Arabic food, but the Arabic food's like all been called Israeli food because it's like owned by an Israeli woman who's married to an African man, which is why it's on the Kwanzaa. Anyway, you guys are getting tense now. But of course, my wife is like very upset because she's Palestinian, and women, whoa, she's pissed, and Arabs, oh my God, it's a lot. So. So I just, I take a deep breath, and I approach the African American woman who's leading the whole thing, and I try to explain to her how this Israeli owner has appropriated I'm just kidding. I just ran out of there, and I was like, oh, like, why didn't you just like the event on Facebook and order seamless? Stop trying so hard. So, anyways, I don't know if you guys have ever done something so woke that it feels racist. But that's what this was. So, thank you very much.
Yum's the word.